So in this video, we're going to be going over how to make the linkage arm. So I already opened up a new part studio, and I'm going to go to Sketch, Front Plane, and front of our box here. So the first thing we're going to do is draw in a rectangle for the main portion. So we're going to use this time we're going to be using center point rectangle. The reason for that is I want the center point directly at our origin, so center point rectangle. And I'm going to put it right at the origin, click over, and there we go. So now I can add in my dimensions for this. So my dimension here is 3.5 for our length going all the way across. And for our other dimension over here, for how tall it is, so our height is going to be a 1/4 inch, so 0.25. Alright, so that just gives us our kind of base rectangle. Now we got to add in our circles that are on the side. So we're going to be using our center point circle. So from here we want to make sure that we get the center of these side edges. So if you see the yellow square that shows up, that's where I want to select. So I'm going to just click, and then I'm going to click over, just because I'm placing it for now, and I'll mention it in a second. Same thing on the other side, because it's going to be a mirror image of each other. Now I'm going to add my dimension. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit tricky, because the dimension that's shown on our drawing is only half, because it's showing a radius. But the way that I'm placing it in for our part over here is going to be a diameter, so I need to double it. So I can actually just type this number in, so 0.1875 times 2. Enter, and then that places in my value. Alright, so from here what you could do is just do the same thing for the other circle, but I'm going to show you a new tool just in case you want to learn a constraint. So at this one right here where it's kind of some lines and a dot in the middle, that is the Coincident Constraint, where you connect points together. It's a very useful tool. It's probably the most used one, which is why it's the one that's the default. But the one I am going to look at right now is, oh, here it is, equal. So it makes two things equal to each other. So I want this circle and this circle to be equal. So the benefit of doing it that way is if I ever have to change this number for whatever reason, so think about it as if I forgot to double my number and I put in the radius and not the diameter. I could just change it on this one, and then my other one would automatically update. So saves me a little time if you make a mistake, or just sometimes time typing if you got a lot of them. Okay, so what we can do here is finish our sketch and extrude. So we're going to want to extrude all our sections over here. And right now it has it set to 1 inch, it's not what we want. We want to make sure we actually get the thickness of our part done properly. So that, for our depth here, is 0.125. Alright, so from here we're going to create another sketch, and we're going to do it on this front surface. And we're going to use another new tool. It is this one, where we are projecting our geometry from one layer to the next. So one way you could do it is just click on the inside, and you can see how everything's highlighted. Another way is just to click on portions of it and place it all in. So either way is acceptable, but really what I'm looking for is this dot right here and this one right here. So I'm going to use the point tool and just click on both of those dots. And you can see how they went from just plain black dots to black dots with a white center. That is what you want to see on both of them. So next we're going to click on our green check mark, and then we are going to go to our hole tool. So for our hole tool, we now need to select our two points that we put in, and we are going to change some pieces. So depending on how you had this set before, you might have it set at blind. You want to make sure it's set to through, because we want to cut through the entire object. And we need to change our diameter to our proper number here. Our default's not actually what we want. What we want for our value for our diameter is 0.128. Alright, click our check mark. And there is our part. So before you forget, also make sure that you rename your tab So this is part number 7, linkage arm. All right, so that would be our linkage arm part. So in the next video, we're going to be doing the work drawing for our linkage arm. So good luck.